Okay, so let's do an exercise here. First, we want to list urgent issues that you can solve. All right? And so we want to do the exercise that I talked about earlier. We want to make a list of all the fears and frustrations that you can solve for others. Okay? So instead of narrowing in on a niche quite yet, we're going to kind of turn this exercise on its head a little bit. We're going to focus it on you. Right? So we're going to make a list of all the fears and frustrations that you can solve for others. And we're going to focus on problems that have a high emotional value, right? A high emotional value need, along with urgency. So it's very important that you're listing fears and frustrations you can solve that have high emotion value and urgency. Okay? We don't want to write down, I know how to help people prevent tooth decay, because that's not what people want. The way that humans work is that they want to stop a toothache. They want to end the pounding in their head because their tooth already decayed. Now, in the future, we might live in a culture and a society where people will invest more in prevention, but right now they don't. The exception is possibly for children. So if you're doing a children's product that prevents some kind of big problem for children, that might fly. But otherwise, you want to sell the solution to something that's painful and urgent. All right? You don't want to sell the prevention of something. So make a big list of all of the problems, all the fears, frustrations, all the worries, all the anxieties that you could solve. And, get creative here. If you could do it with personal coaching, that's a great thing, just advice. You could do it with information products. That's great as well. Maybe it's a product that you could create. Maybe it's some kind of a template that you could create. Right now, you're seeing a lot of people that are starting to move to helping businesses get online. And there's a big trend that's happening right now. So who knows? Maybe you know how to build websites, and you could help businesses that don't have a website or don't do internet marketing build a website or do internet marketing, because right now their business is hurting and they need more customers. The next thing you want to do is to make a list of wants and aspirations that you know how to deliver or solve. And again, focusing on areas that have high emotional value. Now, this is an area you want to be careful, because you don't want to focus here. Okay, you really want to focus. If you want to create money, you want to focus on problems. Focus where people have pain, urgency, huge emotion around something. Right? But another area where it's possible to make money, just not as likely in my experience when you're starting out, start with things that people want, things that they aspire to. Focusing on areas that have high emotional value. So an example here might be, something where somebody really has a desire and it's completely irrational, but it's very, very, very strong. Okay, so you might know the way to win at a new video game that just came out, and nobody else knows how to win, and you know that there are 100 million people, 100 million kids all over the world that are trying to figure out how to win this particular video game. And you could write a little report that you could sell for $20 that details everything on how to win this game. All right, that one might fly because it's so irrational, right? Video games, and there's so much desire and there's so much energy and emotion around it. Fine, Or you might have discovered a technique that someone can use to drive a golf ball another 100 feet further every time they do it. And you know that golf is an area where billions of dollars is spent, and that the people in golf are just irrationally passionate. And you know that one thing, driving the ball further and straighter, you've got the solution for it. You know how to solve it. And so you create some type of a product, or maybe a coaching service, or maybe you've even got some type of a golf club or something that you're working on that you could have created. I will admit that one, but again, only a want and aspiration that has high emotional value. Okay?